Hey everyone, my name is Charlie, welcome to the channel. In this video we will be painting a comms boy from the Orc Kommando set. Continuing from where we left off, today we're adding another orc to the team, but this time a communication specialist. We will be using previously employed techniques like base coating, layering, highlighting, with the addition of washes and contrast paints. As in previous videos, this mini has been airbrushed with a black primer and given a zenithal white spray from above. This helps us to see the tiniest details and also helps weaker opacity paints to cover faster. For easier access, some parts of the model are painted separately from the body. This prevents paint spilling on unwanted areas, which results in less time doing cleanups. Starting up with the same base coat that I used on my other orcs, this guy also receives a couple of thin layers of Bugmans glow. This pinkish brown color is a good base for any skin tone, even if it ends up looking green. In my opinion, more color variety makes a mini more interesting to look at. I prefer to paint the most inner parts of the model first, so later on I don't have to fiddle around those hard to reach areas. When the base coat is down, I grab a dark green color and mix it with the Bugmans glow. This is our first step in establishing a green skin. I'll heavily dilute this brownish green to a glaze consistency, about 5:1 ratio of water to paint, and start to apply it on the raised, more prominent areas. Dilution is important as we can control the opacity of the paint more carefully. When doing this, try to keep in mind that the most paint will be deposited at the end of the brush stroke. Following the previous steps, I grabbed Carroburg Crimson, a red wash, and Lahmian medium. On its own, the red wash has too much opacity and that wouldn't work well with our desired skin tone. By adding the same amount of medium to the wash, we keep its consistency but cut down on its strength. This way the wash settles nicely between the muscles and the crevices, giving definition and tone to our orc. After giving about 20 minutes for the wash to dry, I grab my dark green and add some water to it on the palette. From this point on, we'll start to layer up the various greens, going from dark in the shadowy areas to bright in the upward facing areas. As I introduce brighter colors to the mix, I start to cover less and less areas on the mini. This would imply more light hitting the highest points of the skin. By the time I reached my highlight colors, I wasn't exactly happy with the skin color. In my mind, orcs have an olive green-like skin, and this one was looking a bit too bluish for me. This comes down to using different green paints than I did before. To correct my mistake, I grabbed the paint that I used in previous videos, Orruk Flash. I've created a wash of this paint just by adding plenty of water to it. This wash was then applied to the skin in an effort to change the tint of this bluish green to something more in line with the other orcs of the unit. While the wash dried, I grabbed the white paint and painted in the eyes. This was followed by a red contrast paint, Blood Angel's Red. I wanted to give a more fleshy bruised look to his nose and knuckles, so I've painted it with Bugman's glow again, then applied some Carroburg Crimson to help blend it in with the surrounding areas. After finishing the skin, I moved on to painting his shirt. For this, I used a deep red as a base coat. For a moment I was afraid that the green and the red will look too Christmassy, but then I decided I like it anyways, so I carried on and applied it in 2 thin layers. For the shoulder straps and boots, I grabbed Abaddon black and painted it on both sides of his torso and feet. Try to not spill it on red areas as it is a difficult color to correct. To base coat the pouches on his pants, I've used Catachan Flash, my go-to leather color. I think it's a nice overall brown color that can be used for leathers, wood, or darker skin tones. Next step was to base coat his gloves. These received a couple layers of Steel Legion Drab. I've also used this color to paint over the belt on the bag that's attached to his chest. His helmet was coated in a layer of Basilicanum grey dark contrast paint. For the metallic parts on his boots, headset, buckles, and ammunition, I've used 2 layers of Leadbelcher. To pick out the fabric that holds his shirt and mask together, I've used Morghast bone. This bright color would stand out from the red and black surrounding it. This was also used to base coat the rope that's hanging from his belt. The earpiece was coated with Incubi darkness to blend in with the dark helmet. Once that was done, I've painted the cables and antenna with Abaddon black. To highlight the black parts, I've used Mechanical Standard Grey. This was used as an edge highlight or as a dry brushed / stippled detail. To pick out the shell casings, Retributor armor was used. This was the end of the base coating stage, and I was happy to move on to something else, which was putting down a brown wash all over the Mini. I've diluted Agrax Earthshade to a 1:1 mix with water and applied it to everything except the skin. I used this step for the same reason as I used the red wash over the skin, to separate the details of the various elements. Once the Agrax Earthshade dried, I carried on with layering the different shades of red on the jacket. The 3 reds were placed on my wet palette so I could quickly mix and go between colors. Coincidentally, this made my palette look like a murder scene after a while. Similarly to the skin, I left the darker shade in the shadowy areas and kept on layering brighter mixes on the upper parts of the fabric. To achieve a textured look, I often stippled on the colors in a patchy way. For some extreme highlights, I've added Wraithbone and Off-White to my mix. To be honest, in the end, I've taken this step a bit too far. After finishing the highlights, I've watered down my red base color and used it as a wash all over the jacket to pull back the highlights and unify the colors again. To highlight the strings and rope on his side, I've reapplied a layer of Morghast bone. 2 layers of Wraithbone were used to pick out the skull emblem on his left shoulder. The edges of the black details were not prominent enough, so I've added a couple more details with Mechanical Standard Grey. To take down the brightness of this color and to define a few more details on the Mini, I've grabbed Nuln Oil, a black wash. To make the headphones a bit more prominent, the base color was reapplied again. Using edge highlighting and stippling, the leather details and edges were picked up with the Legion Drab. To enhance the corners and edges, I've added Morghast bone to the previous color. The electrical cable was painted with the same color as the headset, Incubi Darkness. The wraps around the cable were painted with rock art flash. The coils around the cable were coated with 2 layers of Balthasar gold. When the parts of the cable were base coated, I've used Nuln oil to bring out the details. The trousers were painted with the same technique as the jacket, mixing and layering Catachan flash, Still Legion Drab and Morghast bone. Once the trousers were done, I moved on to finish the metallics. The steel colors were layered with Leadbelcher and Stormhost silver, and the bullet shells with Retributor armor. A mix of Incubi darkness and Cantor blue highlighting the cable's edges. And with this step, the main body was done, so I could move on to paint the weapon / radio. To base coat the weapon, I mixed Abaddon black and Leadbelcher, the same mix I've used in previous videos. The coverage of these mixed colors is much better than when used on their own. The coils and the box on the weapon side were painted with a bronze color Balthasar gold. The little lamp on the side received a few layers of Hexwraith flame. After the colors were established, everything got coated with Agrax Earthshade. Once the wash dried, I've used Leadbelcher on its own to highlight the steel, creating dents and lining the edges. As a final step, the copper parts were picked out with a brighter bronze Gehenna's gold. Before the base got painted, I had to tackle the backpack. The main colors of it were Hobgrot hide and later Morghast bone and Raid bone. Hobgrot hide unfortunately has poor coverage, so I had to go over it about 3 times to have an even color around the piece. The mechanical box powering the radio got painted with Balthasar gold. The canister under the backpack was coated with Abaddon black. I find it creates more visual interest if bright and dark colors are closely represented next to each other. The contrast between them draws the eye in. Steel Legion Drab was used to paint in the straps around the engine box and the belts on the backpack. Castellan green was used to cover the grenades on the side. Leadbelcher was painted on the zipper, buckles and rivets around the backpack. To give a bit more interest to the elements, I've painted the lightning bolt symbol with a deep red. With this step done, I finished applying the base colors on the backpack. What was left to do is to cover it with a brown wash, and once that's dry, highlighting it for some extra interest and detail. When the wash dried, I grabbed Hobgrot hide again and painted it on in thin layers, making sure to leave the recessed areas and crevices untouched. This was followed by a mix of Hobgrot hide and Morghast bone, with this step covering even less areas of the backpack. Morghast bone was used to highlight the most upward-facing edges. By slowly adding a bit more Raid bone to the Morghast bone, I've added even brighter highlights to the fabric. Finally, Raid bone on its own was painted on the highest points and dabbed onto the surface to imitate dents and tears on the backpack's fabric. Balthasar gold was reapplied on the box to recover its copper color. Gehenna's gold was used to highlight the edges of the electrical box. With Stormhost silver, I've picked out the bolts and rivets, but most of it you probably can't see because my big head was in the way. Apologies for that. For the next step, I've mixed my grey and black paints and used it to highlight the canister's edges. This was followed by reapplying Castellan green on the grenade surfaces. Mephiston red was used to re-establish the reds on the engine box's lightning symbol. This was highlighted with Carmine red in a patchy way to leave the underlying layers visible. To finish off the emblem, I've used an orange color in a similar way as the Carmine red. After this step, the mini was fully painted, so I assembled it with super glue. The only thing left was the base, which was painted in a really simple but effective way. The debris was painted with Balthasar gold. While I'm painting it, you can see that there are little gaps between the mini's feet and the base. To cover up that little space, I grabbed Stirland Mud, a dark brown texture paste. It got painted around his feet and in random spots on the base. To create a uniform color around the base, I used German Camo Black Brown. Diluted it with plenty of water and painted it on the ground texture. With Rakarth Flesh and Morghast Bone, I've dry brushed the paste in order to bring out the detail of the dirt. With a mix of Nuln oil and Agrax Earthshade, I washed the base dulling down the brightness of the dry brushing phase and deepening the shadows in the crevices. The last thing to do was to paint the rim with Abaddon black in a couple of thin layers. And with this done, we finished another orc. There is one more to paint, and with that the whole unit will be finished. Thank you for sticking around until the end. If you have any further questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching, and goodbye.